Last summer, 3 men broke into a North Austin home, beat people inside with a bat, and shot a man in the hand. All 3 are now serving time for their roles in that home invasion. One conviction relied on DNA evidence found at the scene and tested at APD's crime lab. Now, that lab is now under the microscope after a former employee raised concerns about the training of lab workers. KXAN's Reagan Hackelman joins us live from the Travis County Criminal Justice Complex with more on this. Reagan.
Well, Leslie, the Travis County DA's office says there could be as many as 2,000 cases since 2007. Now, the trial for one of those cases wrapped up back in May and resulted in an 80-year sentence for one of the defendants. His lawyer has already asked for a new trial and now says his case is even stronger. It all started at Sugar's Gentlemen's Club in North Austin last year. 3 men followed 2 cocktail waitresses to this house in the early morning hours of July 16th. What happened next landed all 3 in prison.
None of the victims identified him. There was no fingerprint evidence left behind.
Defense attorney John Evans represented one of the men police say busted into the house, robbed the cocktail waitresses, and beat the other people with a baseball bat. In court, one of the 3 suspects pled guilty and testified against the other 2. But in Texas, someone cannot be convicted based on testimony from a co-defendant. Evans says the jury convicted his client based on DNA evidence found near the crime scene.
If there's DNA, by God, the guy must be guilty. And this shows the public that DNA is not some magical cure-all, that there are problems with DNA procedures.
The DNA that helped convict Evans' client was processed at the Austin Police Department's DNA lab. That lab is now at the center of a controversy after a former employee raised questions about the training DNA analysts go through. One analyst mentioned in the report was the state's testifying witness during the trial of Evans' client.
You know, this is the perfect example of why police should not be in control of their laboratories.
Evans says he's already filed a motion for a new trial even before Austin's DNA lab was called into question. Now he says his case for a new trial is even stronger.
They knew there were problems before we tried that case, and no one let me know. No one told me. That's a huge problem.
Says they are still working on scheduling the independent review for sometime later this summer. Chief Art Acevedo told me today that the National Institute of Justice will be in town in the next 2 weeks to perform an already scheduled review of their DNA lab. Reporting live from downtown Austin, Reagan Hackelman, KXAN Austin News.